What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and you're watching our college football channel. We're going to take a look at the top 10 games for Week 8. We've been doing this series going through every single week of the college football season. I was doing it on Mondays, but since I started my predictions, I decided I'm going to move this to Saturdays. I know some of you were commenting, asking. This will be on Saturdays from now on. We're going to continue to go through the rest of the weeks. And Week 8's a really big week. There are a lot of big games this weekend. Michigan State rivalry game, you'd normally think that'd be one of the 10 best games. It's not even on the list. That's how good this week is. And I don't really expect Michigan State to compete in that game. Mississippi State, Arkansas, another game that didn't make the list. So there are a lot of good games. But we're going to start here at number 10, and that's Ole Miss at Auburn. A lot of intriguing storylines in this matchup. Really looking forward to seeing how this one plays out. So you've got the whole Lane Kiffin drama. He's at Ole Miss, of course. Rumors that he was going to Auburn, and he obviously considered going to Auburn last year. And so you've got that drama. And then you've got Hugh Freeze, who is now at Auburn. Of course, he used to coach at Ole Miss, so there's a lot of intriguing storylines in this matchup here. As far as on the field, I think it's going to be a great matchup. I think Ole Miss is the better team, but they're going to play on the road at Jordan-Hare. Tough place to play. I think this will be an exciting, high-scoring, fun matchup. And one that really either team can win. So this is going to be a big one here for both of these teams. It's number 10, Ole Miss at Auburn. Moving on to number 9, Minnesota at Iowa. Big game in the Big Ten West. Of course, the last year with divisions in the Big Ten. Wisconsin seems like they're probably going to be the front runner in this division. But if they don't run away with it, if they don't win it, I think Minnesota and Iowa, maybe Illinois, some of these other teams are going to have a chance. And this is a huge game. This is one of those games where the loser's probably not going to win the division. The winner is going to have a chance. And so this is a big one here. I think both of these teams are good, solid teams. They're borderline top 25 teams. Maybe one of them breaks through. We'll see. But this is going to be a good, low-scoring, run-the-football type matchup. Don't expect a lot of points in this one, but I do think it'll be a close one. A lot of drama here in this one. Minnesota, Iowa, number 9. Number 8, we're going to stay in the Big Ten West. Wisconsin versus Illinois. It just talked about if Wisconsin does not run away with this division, Minnesota, Iowa, and Illinois. Maybe Illinois could make a run in the Big Ten West. Of course, last year, they were pretty close to winning that division. In fact, I believe, and I've said this before, I believe they were the best team in that division. The schedule just kind of caught up to them. But this is going to be another one that's probably going to be a lower scoring game. I know Wisconsin is changing things. They're going to be airing it out a lot more. Totally different offense, but still, it's going to be an old school Big Ten matchup, and I expect it to be close. Probably a 4-quarter game. Again, Wisconsin going on the road at Illinois. Should be a good one here at number 8. Number 7, Duke at Florida State. Now, Florida State's a team that has a lot of hype coming into this year, obviously. They're going to be playing at home here. You don't really expect them to lose this game, but Duke's going to be a good quality team. Wake Forest beat Florida State last year, so don't think that this is not impossible here. I've said it before. Duke is a borderline top 25 team, a veteran team, a lot of experience coming back. Almost everyone coming back from last year's roster, and they were pretty good last year. Only lost a few games, and those losses were close. So I expect Duke to really come out and compete in this game. Should be a good one in the ACC. Maybe a shocker. Could Duke go on the road and upset Florida State? We'll see, but I do expect it to be a close one. Number 6, UCF at Oklahoma. This is a big one in the Big 12. I've talked about UCF potentially being a sleeper team in this conference. I think that this is a big opportunity for them. They've got to go on the road and beat Oklahoma. I expect a lot of points in this game. High-scoring, shootout-type matchup. Probably an elimination game in the Big 12. The loser of this one probably does not win the Big 12, if I had to guess. Winner maybe can use this momentum if they get off to a good start before this game and maybe even make a run into the Big 12 championship. So this is a huge game in that conference. UCF at Oklahoma at number 6. Back to the ACC now at number 5. It's Clemson at Miami. If you've been watching my prediction videos, I just did the one on Clemson. I did pick Clemson to pull off the upset. Miami to pull off the upset over Clemson. I just feel like, again, I talked about in that video, Miami at the line of scrimmage, I think, can match Clemson. They're playing at home. It's just one of those games that I think we might see an upset. Miami's a really talented team. And so I think this is going to be, even if Miami does not win, if they don't pull off the upset, I think they're going to be improved this year. Maybe they're not. Maybe they have the same issues they had last year. But I really feel like they're going to be a lot better. And I think they're going to have a chance. And I think it'll be a close game either way. Again, I did pick them to pull off the upset. But this is going to be a big one in the ACC. If Miami could win this game, could they potentially get into the conversation to get to the ACC championship? If Clemson loses, are they potentially not going to make it to the ACC championship? Especially if, say, they were to lose to Florida State before this. So this is just a huge game. Clemson, Miami in the ACC at number 5. Number 4, back to the Big 12 now. TCU, Kansas State, a rematch of last year's Big 12 championship. Most people are kind of penciling Texas into the Big 12 championship this year. They appear to be the best team. Now, will that play out on the field? We'll see. But who's going to play them? Who will play in the Big 12 championship? You'd have to say the winner of this game is going to have a great opportunity, great shot to get there. So TCU, Kansas State, the rematch again from the Big 12 championship. I'm expecting a really good one here. I think high drama, just like last year's Big 12 championship. It'll come down to the wire. TCU, Kansas State, big game, huge game in the Big 12. Number 3, Utah at USC. Can USC finally get over the hump and beat Utah? They've really struggled against them. They're playing at home. This is going to be a good Utah team. It's going to be the same type of Utah team that we always see. Well coached, a good team. They're a veteran team again this year. USC going to be an explosive offense. Can their defense get better? We'll see. But this is just a big game in the Pac-12. Winner of this one's going to have a great shot at getting to the Pac-12 championship. The loser probably doesn't make it. I mean, you look at the schedules, you look at who all these teams play, it's tough with those top 4 teams in the Pac-12. So this might be an elimination game potentially. Utah, USC at number 3. Let's go to number 2 now. Tennessee at Alabama. This one becomes even bigger with Tennessee beating Alabama last season. What a game that was. And it's going to be big again this year. Alabama playing at home, revenge on their minds. Again, if you've been following my predictions, I've actually got Alabama already with 2 losses coming into this game. So this will be a huge one for them if that does happen. I mean, they cannot lose this game. Tennessee can lose this game as long as they beat Georgia and they win the rest of their games. Of course, they can get to Atlanta. But they want to beat Alabama again. It's a rivalry. If the SEC does, I feel like they're only going to go to the 8 games for 1 year, and they'll probably have Tennessee, Alabama. But if they stick with 8 games, you realize Tennessee, Alabama, that rivalry is going to be gone. They're not going to play every year. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they will ultimately go to 9 games after 2024. But that would be crazy. I mean, this is a great rivalry. We need it every single year, and it's going to be really big this year. The biggest it's been in a long time, which, of course, last year was really big. But it's changed now. With Tennessee finally getting back towards the top of college football, it's made this rivalry a lot better, and it's going to be a big one here. But not the biggest game, because I think that is Penn State at Ohio State at number 1. Can Penn State pull off the upset? They played the Buckeyes really tough last year. They're going to be on the road, though. That'll make it a lot tougher. A lot of hype for Penn State this year. A lot of people expecting them to be in the mix, maybe even get to the Big Ten championship. Of course, they get Michigan at home. Maybe we have a 3-way tie potentially. If Ohio State wins at home, if Michigan beats Ohio State, if Penn State beats Michigan at home, we could indeed have a 3-way tie. I haven't even looked into the tiebreakers yet. But if Penn State could go on the road and beat Ohio State here, they're going to be in great shape. And this is going to be a big one, of course, in that division. Final year, like I said earlier, with divisions in the Big Ten. And so a big opportunity for Penn State. These 2 teams will not play every year with the new schedules, with no divisions and the rivalries and everything. We're not going to see this matchup every year. So this is a huge one here. Penn State, Ohio State, I think it's the biggest game. Probably a top 10 matchup. Both teams very possibly undefeated. And the winner with a great shot to maybe get to the Big Ten championship if they can get past Michigan. So those are my top 10 games for Week 8. Give me your thoughts down in the comments below.